Welcome to Rehan School Notes. Today we will listen to the learning journeys of students and facilitators, and we will hear about the progress, how people grow skills, confidence, and direction. Today's guest is Momina Allahwala. Welcome, Momina. And I think this time I will leave it to you. Your introductions, please tell us with your own words. What is your profession, or what is your life journey so far?
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today. As you mentioned, my name is Momina Allahwala, and I am currently the director of Rehan School, and also the director of Rehan School in the UK, or the ambassador of Rehan School in the UK. My life journey was born, brought up in Karachi, Pakistan, and got married, moved to UK 2 years ago, still figuring out my life over here and trying to make the best of it.
Yeah, I have many questions for people who grew up in Pakistan and moved to the Europe. Maybe we can start with that.
That would be nice.
Because it's such a difference. What was the most shocking when you moved to Europe? I guess the language wasn't the big deal because you speak
because English is the first language here, so it wasn't really a problem. The difference is, I think I was privileged enough to move around the world with my father and my family a lot. So there was nothing like I was something which would shock me in another country. But I did realize that when you move away from your family and your friends and your a whole life you have set for yourself back home, and when you move out of that, life gives you very new experiences and you get to learn so much more. And I wasn't expecting that to happen. For me, it was just when my husband told me that we were going to move, I was like, oh, I was telling my brain that, oh, it's just for a few months and we'll come back, it's just a short trip, we'll come back. My mind would literally not just accept the fact that maybe we were about to just move our whole life to a new country. And my friends and family who moved, I always used to complain about being so lonely, and it's very hard for people to connect and having social lives and making friends. And I used to be like, why is it so hard? It's so easy. Like, I'm a family person. I think if I move, it's going to be very easy for me to make friends. And why don't you talk to your neighbors? I mean, why don't you just make them food, give it to them, and everything like that? I had these assumptions that it would be so easy. But then when I fill in those shoes, it was like I was like, oh, it's not so easy. I mean, I barely know my neighbors here in my building. I don't think I've seen any person again, like for the second time. Every time I see a new person. And the apartments on my floor are also for Airbnb, so it's new people all the time. And even the permanent residents, I don't think I know any of them, because everybody has their own lives. They're all busy in their own lives. From Monday to Friday they work, Saturday, Sunday they party, and then on Monday they repeat it again. So it's not, I think, coming from a Asian background, I think we give so much importance to our social connections and our networks and our family and everybody around us, that it's the opposite over here. Because over there you're more involved with everybody, and and the UK or your European side, it's like you're not really, you have friends, but you're not really connected to a lot of people in the way that we are back home. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's a very different feeling, but this was one of the main things that I felt was a very big difference, and something I'm still trying to cope up with.
Isn't it because in the past I thought that it might be because of the village and city. Like in the village we knew each other. In the city it's not like that, but still people were
I get it. Like a small city and a big city. But then the thing is that I come from a very big city back in Pakistan, and even over there we have, it's somewhat like not a village. I won't say a village, like a mindset, but people are still not as connected as people would be in villages. But we're still like, compared to the compared to where I am now, it's like totally opposite.
Is it because you have bigger families in Pakistan
Might
than?
be one of the reasons, because the people so my husband has far off relatives here in who live in London, and they don't feel this because they were born and brought up here. Their family is here, the whole family is here.
They
They
get
have
used to
something
it?
to do every day, they have people to meet every day. Maybe that's one of the reasons that we are the first ones to move into a new city. Maybe it was, if it were, so my brother and my grandfather and my cousins, a few of my family lives in another country, and I think if I were to move there, I wouldn't have felt as I am feeling right now, because they'd be there. But then life would revolve around them only. It would be
Mhm.
hard for us to maybe um, get out of our comfort zones and to learn. Maybe I wouldn't have learned the things I have if I were around my family. Like a nest, when the the birds grow up, the mother just throws them out of their its nest, so the kid learns how to fly itself. That's, I think that's nature. So that's
Mhm.
what happened, I think, with us. But the difference is our mother didn't push us out. My husband brought us out, pushed us out. But you learn a lot of things when you jump out of your comfort zone.
But I think another thing, another aspect is also the digital world today. Even in the villages now, I still live in the village, and the life is totally different, like it was before when I was a kid. And people stay more like inside, and they have their phones and friends, in their hands. so so they don't go to visit families so often. Maybe that's also the reason. And in the city, these Airbnbs, right, it's also a new thing. So um, then probably you must look for the places where you can meet other people,
Hmm.
and some events or something, like intentionally you have to you have to go
I have to
to these
push
places.
myself to
Mm.
do something to meet people, and that's what I've been doing since the past year. Um, Different experiences. I went to this. So my first weird experience for me was, there was a, so we have, in Muslims we have Eid. We
Mhm.
have two Eids. So there was one of them we spent back home in Pakistan, and one we were here. So before Eid, the Muslim community here, they organized a small girls party, you can say, an all female party. We could just come in, get your mehndi done, and do some small activities like painting or calligraphy and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I can go. Let's see, because I didn't know anybody. I was like, okay, I'll go. So I was all excited, but then I was also nervous, a little nervous. And I was all ready. I was walking towards it, and the moment I started walking towards the event hall, I started shivering and I was sweating, and I didn't know. I was so anxious because I was going into a complete unknown. I mean, for for me to imagine that that would happen to me is something very weird, because I thought I was pretty confident and very
I think so
friendly with
also.
people
you're
around and
you're
stuff.
very confident. How it's possible?
Exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That for me to imagine that I was going through those feelings was just very weird. So I was fine.
Mhm.
I found someone on the way with me who walked in with me, and I just went in, and there were so many girls all dressed up, and I wasn't even as dressed up. I just put on some contact lens and some makeup on, but they were wearing literally heavy wedding dresses and everything. I was like, oh, next time I can do that too. So
Because it's so precious there, right?
yeah, exactly. So I went in. It took like half an hour for me to settle in. I just found a seat wherever I could. I didn't move from there. I was just sitting, and I sat on the calligraphy table. So I just randomly started doing calligraphy, and then after a while there were a few girls who were sitting around me, and we started talking. Um and they started complimenting me on my skills, and I was like, oh, thank you, and that's how it started. And then they told me about a group which is led by Revert is someone who's past non-Muslim, but then he or she converts, so we call them a Revert. So she made a group for all the Muslim community here, to and they do weekly activities like going for hikings or paintings or book clubs and iftars and different things. They have a lot of things you can go to wherever you want to. So I joined that, and since that, I think a little I started getting out more. And because I don't know what to do here, I mean, for me it's, I mean, like I said, it's like a complete new dimension or new perspective to life when I moved here, because I thought it would be easy because I've always traveled with my father, and whenever we went somewhere he always has had people who knew him, so we'd always feel welcome everywhere. We didn't have to, do anything, and we just end up at someone's house having dinner, having lunch with them, or going somewhere meeting people. So it was, so now it's just me. It's Momina. Momina is creating her own path or own journey, making her new connections
Yeah.
without an influence of someone elder. I'm not using my parents' connections or somebody else's. I'm making my own. So that took a while, and I think it took me 1 year to get used to the fact that I live alone now. It's just me and my husband, and it's 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 so many words, but I can't really express, don't know how to express how the feeling is. But thank God I went out. I started making friends. Now I have some friends, and at least I know people here. Not enough. My father always pushes me to get out, and I have so many brochures of Rehan school with me too. He's like, go give them out. I'm like, I don't think I can. He's like, go to the school, this is so nearby to you, go visit them, go meet the principal. I'm like, how can I just go and meet the principal? I'm like, I don't know what to
I would
say.
never
I don't.
imagine this about you. Like you were in that family and like from childhood, and you
Yeah,
know your father. Uh,
yeah,
I would imagine that you are like at home in this. And
that's what I
do
thought. But I
that's so,
guess it's so different. It's so different. Even I feel like if I had even one person who would come with me to a school or to
it's easy.
anywhere to advocate about Rehan school or our school, I think I'd be fine. But the
Mhm.
feeling of that, the first step, I think that's the hardest in anything you do. In, and not just this, in anything in life, the first step is the hardest. I know that if I just go inside the school and talk to the principal, I'll be like, oh, I'm your best friend now. I mean, we'd be like, have a nice conversation and everything. I'd be all vocal about Rehan school and how it's affecting everybody and how it's useful for us and for the people and for the children in the future and stuff. But the first step is like the most hardest part. So my dad was visiting me back in September, and I was like, now I don't have to plan my day. I just go around with him, whatever he's doing. I'll just, follow him like a small duck following his mom. So I was like following him around. He loves the area where we live in. So it's like we are surrounded by water, and he thought it was very peaceful. And he just eat, go down, walk, and we'll come back. Then he'll eat, then he'll go down for a walk, and then come back. So I'd go with him, and then there's some things I found out about things were happening around my house that even I didn't know. Like there was a podcast studio, there was a radio show going on. There were weekly coffee making classes for free. I didn't know, and when I went out to explore with him, that's when I found out. I guess
Mm.
I've never been the person who likes to do. I still don't like to do things alone. Like I need someone with me to do things. I think when a person is with me, I'm more confident. I mean,
Because you
I feel like
probably were
lived
growing up
around
in big
people so
family,
much.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I have six siblings, and we two of them are like me and my brother are married, so we're 10 people in the family, and then I grew up with my cousins who are themselves, I think now they're 14 people, and then my grandparents. So we're about 20, 25 people in the house, and I've every day
You're never alone.
adventure with them. One day I'm like, oh, I don't have any agenda. So then I find out an hour later that, oh, my grandmother's coming over. Okay. So then the day is sorted. I have my grandmother coming. I'll just look out for her. I'll see if she has some pending task to do. I'll, take her to the dentist. So anything she wants to do, I'll just serve myself to her, take care of her in any way I can. And when I'm home with my siblings, if my mom's not there, I take care of everything, going around, the maids and the stuff, the food and stuff, everything. So it's like I'm the responsible one, but I need to be given a task to do something. I think it's very hard for me to do it myself. I think that's one struggle I am facing, even in finding out what I want to do in life and where I am in life. That's one thing I'm struggling with.
I never imagined that we would be like very similar in this. I
Yeah,
thought,
you're the eldest daughter as well, so I
mm,
think you can relate to what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's called the elder daughter syndrome or something. I don't know. People name it. People
you know,
have been.
when I was young, I also moved from Slovakia to Czechia, Czech Republic, and I thought it's just these two were one republic, Czechoslovakia. So I thought like it will not be a difference. It's very similar language, like there is no difference. But I was surprised that actually it was. When I started to live there, I felt unwelcome. Can you imagine in like Slovakia, Czech Republic, there's like two brothers, like same country basically for us, and I didn't feel
At home.
good, comfortable there. So it's very hard to actually like integrate into the
It
society,
is.
and
It
it took
is.
me many years. I stayed there 20 years, and it was after I actually have learned the accent. The language is a little bit
Different.
different, and then I actually felt like at home again. But okay, this is my
You
home
started
again.
to fit in then.
And I guess the recipe is today to actually go and attend the events and force ourselves to talk to people, right? And I always we always here need some reason to talk to people. Like it's not.
Exactly.
I think we don't have this like Americans. They can talk to each other
Hmm.
without any
You
reason.
need you need a connecting point to connect
Yeah,
with one
yeah,
another. You
yeah.
can't just, I mean, I'm and this is something also I learned when I moved away from home, that you can't just meet someone and say hi, assalamu alaikum, how are you, how are you doing, and then you become friends. No, that's not what happens. You have to
Mhm.
keep up appearances. You have to, keep texting them or meet them like once a month, or maybe put effort in there basically. So, and I clearly remember telling my husband, "Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to put effort in this friendship." I mean, I don't know. I don't think friendship needs efforts, but I think the first few steps is to build trust. Obviously, to build trust, for to build that comfort zone, even if it's for a business, or it's for a family, or if it's friends, anything. You need to build that trust. You need to put yourself out there and make that connection with those people. It's very it's very hard and tiring sometimes.
Yeah,
If
it
you
is.
can just call them, oh, this happened, and can just talk about stuff and everything. So you need to, oh, hi, how are you? How have you doing? How's your husband? Oh, how are your children? Oh, that's nice. You have to keep, you do the small talk. You need to do the small talk to actually talk to somebody. But it's very hard to make friends. I made one friend, and finally, we broke our ice. I think a year after we were meeting and everything. She was actually my husband's colleague's wife, so we were really good friends. And I think 6 months, no, I think 2 years after, just in December, she moved back to Pakistan. I was like, oh, now I'm back to zero. I mean, now she was one person like, oh, Mariam, how are you doing? Why don't you come over? Let's go there. Let's go here. I need to go to get some groceries. Come with me. I mean, that was like how we bonded. We were from the same city, from the same background. So we had something to connect on. So, yeah.
It's easier when we are children at school. It's much
Because you have
easier
school and you meet every day. So
every
even
day.
I was thinking is if I were
Mhm.
in university here, if I was in school, college here, I would go, or
Mhm.
if I was working in a workplace here, I would go every day. So that's how you make work friends. That's how you make friends because you meet every day. You have something to talk about. Over
Mhm.
here, if I'm at a home wife, I'm working from home. I don't really have a lot of things to connect with to another person who's working 9 to 5 at somewhere, and not the person has time to meet you and everything. So that's why I found this community. I found the Muslim community. I found very helpful because we meet, like if it's if they're meeting for a paint and sip session, so you just go there, get some coffee, paint together, laugh. That's how we started to connect. So I met amazing people over there, and it's not just about a Muslim community. It's like the Europeans don't have any communities like that. I mean, if they were, I would go. And most of them, I have the apps and everything which tell me what's happening around, but they're mostly
Mhm.
about drinking. And no, I don't drink, so it's not something we would be able to do together. So it's easier for me to connect with the Muslim community here because they don't drink. They drink coffee instead of wine, and that's how we can. They have a book club. We go for hikes and everything. So
I thought my daughter is telling me that young people don't drink today because it's very expensive for them.
oh.
So they don't drink anymore. They have other addictions,
Mm.
but alcohol is too expensive for them to
Oh, wow.
socialize
That's
around
new.
alcohol. So yeah, I think about another way actually to get to the society, to some community, is to having children. Also, for me, it was like that at least. Through my children, I actually got to know, their moms, and we have, of course,
Something, yes, you
mutual
have a, yes,
mm,
your mothers can, oh, how's your child doing? Oh, he's lagging in this subject. Oh, he's doing that. Yeah,
mm.
I totally agree with you in that aspect. And let's see what God has planned for us in order for kids and everything.
Like you said, that you don't feel like doing this effort, like making this effort to know people, but I guess for adults, it's like the only thing to do, like when you want to meet other people. So
You have to do. No, I said I don't like it, but I have to do it. I do it sometimes. I push myself out there to do it. I even registered myself with the council here, with the government here, to for volunteering and stuff. And I
mhm,
finally got in, but then I think we're moving from the city, so then I'll have to start the whole process again later. But at least I went. I applied. I got in. I went for interviews. I also gave a job interview for teaching and everything, so that also made me a bit confident. Um,
mhm.
I am giving myself new experiences so that I can say, yeah, I did that and I know how to do it. I can do it again. It's not gonna be like the first step, like I said, is a bit difficult, but once you're done with it, gets easier.
Mm. So let's talk about Rehan School. What do you think about that concept? With everything what you hear around, especially in the Europe, in the UK, like banning smartphones at school, or age restriction regarding social media use, or artificial intelligence, and now we have Rehan School, where actually students are required to use the phones and artificial intelligence. So mm, there are these like two different ways how to do things.
Hmm.
Mm, where do you stand?
I think if you're talking about the UK, I mean, I just know a little part of it. Last year, I had a stall at an event, a 2 day event, and me and my husband were standing in the stall. We did it for Rehan School, and there were people who were really curious about it, but not many people showed interest because the reason being that education here is free. I think that's one of the reasons that education is free. You don't have to pay for it, and if we are asking for a fee, they're not really interested in it. But the most interest people were showing in was that we launched a 3 day coding session, a coding workshop, and that's where people were like, the parents were like, oh yeah, we can enroll them in that because we want them to learn coding, but as a summer thing, as a
Ah.
extracurricular thing, not as a complete education.
Mhm,
So I
mhm.
think education wise, what I have observed is I don't think people are ready to give up that education, because over here they do, I mean, all they have is job culture. Everybody is used to the 9 to 5 or the jobs or online jobs, freelancing, anything, but that's all related to jobs. I don't think they're ready to give up their education for something we're doing back home. It's very enlightening if somebody understands it, but not everybody would be, because they don't have problems like we don't have food, we don't have water, we don't have electricity, we don't, you know, they don't have to work on their survival skills. They're just earning, they're working, they're earning, they're spending, and they're happy with their lives. But if we compare it with Pakistan, people in Pakistan are like desperate to earn money, because we're given so many problems that you you it's hard for them to focus on what other things life has to offer, because they're so involved in, oh, the light's about to go, oh, gas is not going to come from this time to this time, we have to wash our clothes, we have to cook food at this time, oh, what to do. I mean, there are different problems.
Yes.
I'm talking generally about Pakistan, not just a part of it. I'm not saying that all of Pakistan is like this. Pakistan is very progressive, and Pakistan is has changed a lot since COVID, since it has introduced technology in all its education. But I think it plays a very big part that education in these European countries are free, and I don't think people will give up their free education first and to pay.
Another reason is probably that that global market, like they wouldn't get like more money, by freelancing on other market. Like it's
Maybe.
the UK has like the quite good salaries and
Yeah, but they also
like,
have good taxes. You barely get anything in your hands.
there's like no other country which actually offers more, right? So
Maybe.
um, maybe that's why the freelancing is not. People are not interested in
You
freelancing
even
as
have
much.
to pay tax if you're freelancing. So you have to pay taxes for everything.
But
So I think
artificial
it's a
intelligence is something they don't know how to do, how to work with it.
people are using ChatGPT for different tasks and everything, but I don't think they're learning it as like we're doing it at Rehan school. Like this is the
Mhm.
only thing you need to learn right now. Like this is the only thing you need to make a tool. You need to learn how to make lemonade with it. You need to, this is a lemon for you. You have to make lemonade out of it. They're not using it as much. But I think they're still a bit backward in this sense. I think
Primitive,
so.
like.
Pakistan isn't. Pakistan isn't. Pakistan is very progressive in this manner, but I think over here people are still a bit backward in this sense
Mhm,
about
mhm.
technology and everything. Yeah.
We are probably too comfortable.
Exactly, because you
Mm.
don't have to struggle for anything. I mean, yeah, you have to work obviously, but you have to work, and then at the end of the day, at the end of the month, you're gonna get a fixed salary, and then you have to pay this. All your, it's all fixed payments. They're all gonna get out of your account, and you know what you're saving, you know what you're earning, you know how you're spending. You have plan. You can plan, but it's predictable. It's not as predictable back in Pakistan.
Mhm. Yeah. Even though like
Overall,
there are all these like conferences and summits and people talk about how disruptive it will be,
I think
still.
it's more in the US than in the UK. It's more in
uh,
the US. It's more in the US than in the UK. It's
mhm,
they've been going about it for a while now, but in the UK, I think they're still going towards it, not jumping on it. Like Pakistan jumped towards it. US was already involved in this. Pakistan jumped towards it, but I don't think UK is. I mean, that's what I
mhm.
think. I don't know about if things are happening or not, but that's what I think at this point.
When do you watch or see Rehan school students, how they appear to you?
What do you mean?
When you follow or you watch Rehan school students in the class, or like what they can do, um, I'm fascinating. I'm fascinated to see, and usually I compare it to me, to my kids. But do you see the difference? Like
Obviously, yes,
high
I
school
see a very
students?
big difference. I mean, they're like walking adults at this point. They're
Exactly.
they're amazing. I mean,
Mm,
I think just yesterday I was looking at an interview, an 8-year-old student we have in the Islamabad campus, and he was doing an interview. It was so funny. I don't know if you understood because it was in Urdu, but he was so
yeah.
funny. He was so cute. He was so adorable, and the amount of confidence he had, I wish I had that much confidence in me. And he was just talking, and oh, why don't you do my interview? Oh, I mean, he was so funny in the way he was, but the amount of confidence our students have now is amazing. And not just the vocal confidence, the confidence of I can do this. If someone gives you a task to do, it'll be like, oh yeah, okay, we can get it done. Even if you don't know how to do it, you just chat gpt it, and
Mhm,
we used to say we Google it, but now we see with chat gpt it. So we just ask chat gpt how it's done, and we're like, yeah, here you go.
mhm.
It's that easy.
If
And
you
it's
ask,
amazing
if you
to
ask
see
what they
all
do, what they would do without AI, they would say, "I will create my own AI."
Yeah, exactly. Now they are able to do that. They're making their own, what do you call it? So we have a set of coding books. So they're making their own agents through it. They can even if ChatGPT closes down someday, they can just say, "Oh yeah, we can do this. We can make it ourselves." I mean, they're at that level now. And like you said, you compare them with yourself. Even I do that. I'm like, I feel so ashamed that if a 10-year-old, 12-year-old can complete all his coding books and make Facebook and everything, why am I not doing it? I'm on my book 3. They've completed their coding task. Oh, I mean, it's amazing what they
I
can
haven't
do.
started yet
Are you-
because I feel like my train part. Like I already missed the train. I feel like
No, that's the thing. It's so easy that anybody can do it at any age. It's so easy. If you
okay.
just start doing it, like my dad says, once just start doing it, you
Mm,
you start building. The first time you build a calculator, the first game you'll make, you'll have so much confidence in you that, oh, I did that. Wow, I can do more. Oh, I can do that. That's an easy piece of cake for me. So the first two books are literally, we call it halwa. I don't know if you know what halwa is. It's the
sweet.
easiest thing up. Yeah, it's sweet dish. Like it's so easy. It's like a piece of cake. Sorry, like
Piece of
that's the
cake.
expression.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that easy. But once you start doing it, it's amazing, and you'll be amazed with yourself that you did that.
Mm. I feel frustrated sometimes, a lot of times, with AI or ChatGPT, which I use the most. That it doesn't give me good responses. Like, maybe I'm so bad with prompts, but I'm like so lazy to even like give the proper prompts. Some prompts are like long, um, and yeah, I got too comfortable with AI already. Like, I want them to think for me.
Yeah, it's not just you, it's everybody now. I mean, even if I have to write down a reply to somebody, I'm like, ChatGPT, this is what she said. Here's the screenshot. Just write me a reply for her, and I just copy paste it there. I mean, I fix things if I want to fix something. It gives me an option to select from all three, four options, and I just do it. I mean,
Mm.
it's that easy. I mean, you stop using your brain at some point, but you are still the person who's in control, I think. You're the one giving it things to do. And the part where you said you're not satisfied with its answers, even I'm not sometimes. But then I don't go deep in conversation with it. I just use it to maybe fix my words or make them sound better or make them sound more educated. I use it for that, and I use it mostly for my cooking. I love to cook with it, and I think it gives them
Really,
best
I'm
recipes.
I'm still YouTube cooker.
No,
It's
no, no.
like
I mean,
I
I do use YouTube too,
YouTube.
but then YouTube, you can't really customize the videos on YouTube, right? Like if you want to
Mm,
make something, and I'd say I want to make dal, the easiest thing. I want to make lentils, and I'd say I don't have onions. I can't tell YouTube that I don't have onions. How do I substitute it? I
mm,
tell ChatGPT I want to make this. I don't have this. What do I do? And it tells me what to do. So just like sushi, I want to make sushi, and you're supposed to put vinegar, rice wine vinegar at the end in the, in the rice to fluff it up and everything. I was like, ChatGPT, I don't have this. What do I do? Like, just mix vinegar, salt, and sugar, and you're done. I'm like, oh wow, I just made an alternate. So before we used to Google this, that what are the alternates for red wine, what are the alternates for this, for that, and now it's you can just ChatGPT it and it can literally just alter the whole recipe for you. I literally
Mm.
use ChatGPT to cook, and I've been saying this for a while now, and I love the recipes which come out of it. I don't really use it for desi recipes because that I already know how to do. And so if I have to proportionize a recipe, like if a recipe is for 1 kilo of chicken and I'm making for two people, so I tell ChatGPT, this is the recipe. I have 4 pieces of chicken. What do I proportionize the recipe for me? So it just literally tells me, just put, half this, do this, do that. It's
Mm.
amazing. I make
I
the best banana bread with ChatGPT. I've made chicken sticks. I've made biryani. I don't know, so many things I've made with it.
I still miss, that picture images,
You need
how the
it.
food is cooked. I probably I use it because of that.
Yeah, but YouTube videos, the food which that looks in the video, it doesn't really look in
No.
reality, though. I mean, yeah, it does look appetizing, but then it doesn't always, come out to be the same.
Mm. What about facilitators? Facilitators and parents. I
Hmm.
saw. mm well, it's understandable that facilitators at Rehan School actually have to learn along the students because we have new AI tools coming every month or every week. I don't know, and so it's understandable that the facilitators are learning um, along with their students. And do you know anything about the teachers program of Rehan School?
Firstly, about facilitators, I'd like to say that I'd like to think of them that they're not teachers. We don't have a teacher-student relationship in our school. They're mostly just there to be the elder sister or elder brother there. That have
Mm.
you done your task? If not, why? Why not? When you'll do it, that's all. That's all you have to do. And then with them, you have to continue with your task as well because the syllabus for them is the same as well. Same in teachers training. We're just training more facilitators. So once you've done all those things you have to do, then we'll give you a bunch of 30 students, 15 students. We'll give you students, you start doing the same with them. You can maybe facilitate them. Like my father always says that, with what's an incubator? An incubator is something which nourishes the baby. When a baby
Mhm.
is born, if it lacks anything, so you keep it in an incubator for a few days and then it gets better. So that's what we have to do. We don't have to teach them to do this, do that. No, you're not supposed to teach them. The teacher is AI. The AI is going to teach them, but you're just supposed to help them if they're stuck somewhere. Or even, I don't think even they need to do that because the classes I've been taking, the kids are literally helping each other and they're
Mhm.
schooling each other. I'm like, I told you to do this, I told you to do that. Oh, come in the breakout room, I'll help you how to do this. I mean, it's amazing to see all those kids.
I watched some class vibe coding, and I couldn't. It was in Urdu, so I didn't understand. But I could see that I was like, "Who is the facilitator here?"
Yeah.
I couldn't
So
tell
I'm in
actually.
that class, and that's what I'm saying. I have no part to play in that class because the kids are
Mm.
so amazing and they're doing their tasks together themselves that I don't feel the need. Even if one day I'm not in the class, I don't feel like I was supposed to be there, or if there's something I'm missing out or something. But they're just even the I think it's she's a student who's facilitating the class right now. She's, I think, the same age as the rest of the students, and they're like, ma'am, I've done this, ma'am, I've done that. And I'm like, ma'am, she's just their age, why are they calling her ma'am? It's so weird for me to see sometimes. But
Mm.
we do have teachers there, and the teachers are mostly quiet. I mean, the facilitators, but they are doing their part in taking out notes and reporting to somebody else. Like if they need some server, they have a server issue, or they need their databases for their coding task and everything. So she collects them from them, and she just, like an elder sibling. You're not really doing anything. You're just, from a far side, you're just observing everything. That's what they're doing,
Yeah,
and
it's
with that,
interesting
they're
that
also doing their task.
Yeah, the kids were actually focused on their task, and they didn't get distracted with some other topic.
Exactly, exactly. And
Mm.
even if you, I mean, I would never ask if I know that you're not concentrating on something. I would never ask you why. Where are you looking? What are you laughing about? I mean, I would never ask you. Can you share with me what you like a teacher does? But in that class, there's this the child who's leading the class. He's like, "Why are you laughing? Can you tell us? Can you share with the class?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm scared of her. I'm intimidated by her now."
Mm. It's a friendly environment there.
It is. It is. Then we want to keep it light, so we usually we talk about how was your day and what I mean, what we're planning to do. Something good happened yesterday or today or anything. We just keep it very light,
Mm.
but then we also focus on our task because we don't want them to get bored. It's not a
Yeah.
We
Uh-huh.
want to keep that enthusiasm alive, that you're learning something new.
They can multitask, right?
Oh yeah,
They can
definitely they
talk
can.
and they can they can work
They
at the
definitely
same
can.
time. Mm. What about parents or the misconception about Rehan school?
I
Have you heard?
haven't really sat down with any parents. I've only been able to talk to a few of them who are interested in getting their kids into the school, and I they had some misconceptions about um, I mean, yeah, they had some questions about what the school is, and why are there no books and everything. Like,
Mhm.
traditional schools there's a difference between them. So I'd always say to them, I think my father can explain it better, so I'd suggest you watch some videos about the school, and then if you have some questions, then you come to me, then I'll answer you. But YouTube helps. YouTube has a lot of videos. My father's uploaded a lot of videos on there, so you can just watch them and understand the whole school, what it's about and what we're doing. Then you come back to me with questions. But I don't really deal with parents as much. I usually just redirect them to someone who's,
Mhm.
onboarding
You know,
children.
I think I came across some comment that
Oh, I don't read comments. I see you read them and you respond to them, and you're very, very vocal about it as well. But I'm usually the quiet one there. I'm like, okay.
yeah, I think it's a good advice to actually be quiet and leave them mm, to experience it on their own or come to conclusion on their own. But if someone tells me that they attend the school and they like for 2 years and they haven't learned anything, it's like unbelievable something, like how you cannot learn anything. I i can learn something every day just being at home,
Hmm.
doing nothing, right? So how can someone, maybe the expectations are like too
Too
high,
high. Maybe they were expecting
and
something else. But
and like
then
quick
maybe they weren't even
learning.
realizing what they're learning. Because if 2 years
Mm.
ago something was new to them, now it's not, because they've done it 100 times. It's not new to them. That can also
Maybe
be one
they
of
cannot use it, like like I, for example, I can say I'm guilty of it. I watch podcasts when I go for a walk. I listen to podcasts or audiobooks, and I'm like, oh wow, oh, wow. And but then I actually like don't share what I have learned, and it makes me harder to actually use what I have learned in my
share
life,
your
and,
understanding.
make it a habit, or something that would actually push me forward. So even though I learn a lot, I don't use it probably, and then it's useless, right? What the knowledge I have, it's useless because I don't use it in my life, so I don't practice it. So
I guess we all learn a lot of things that we don't use. We know a lot of things, but we forget, and we all need reminders. And you never know if which word of yours would might help another person in their lives, and maybe it doesn't affect you in the way, but then affects the other person. So maybe it's one of the things that you don't want to, but you have to.
mm,
Something you don't want to do, but then something you have to at
mhm.
this in this age of life, in this today's world, in the AI oriented world, in the social media world of social media and everything.
It's really a different world than I was living in when I was young. When I wanted to know something, I had to go and find some book in the library or ask, I don't know, teacher or parents or someone, find someone. But really today the informations are everywhere. You can find the answer in a minute. So it's the core is to actually learn how to learn, right? Or how to find the information, how to process the information, or critically.
But what do you feel about this? That you don't have the need to ask anybody now, and you can just do it yourself, and you don't have, again, you don't need to ask anybody now. I mean, I think I don't like that now, because I think asking people or giving adults or giving that teacher or mentor status to somebody is about respect. And I think if you don't talk to them, if you don't ask them, maybe if you even know the answer, you still ask the other person, you still ask him in respect that, oh, you're so, you've done this for a few years, do you think you can help me with this, or do you know what this is? So this is something I lacked with my father also, because even if I knew an answer, I'd still ask him, and he'd always reply with, just YouTube it, just Google it. That time we didn't have AI, so he'd be like, this is like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, this is something. So he's like, just YouTube it. I hated when he said that. I literally hated when he said that.
Me too. I don't like this. But
I hate it. I'm like, I'm asking you because you're my father, and I want a reply from you. I know I can ask anybody else. I know other people will give me an answer, something else, but I'm asking you because I'm your daughter and your father. I never said that to him, but I used to hate it when he used to do that. So even now, you can just literally just, again, chat GPT anything now. But I still miss that factor of, asking somebody something in respect, not just, because you're dumb or you don't know anything, but just because out of respect, because that person has invested so much time of his life, especially the generation above us, that they, like you said, that you have to go read books, and know people who've done PhDs, and they've done double PhD, double masters, and I don't know what not, specialization. They've invested like 20-30 years of their life in something, and then you can't just wipe it out with just one prompt, one device. So that's one thing I feel like it's one of the respect aspects we have for one another, for our teachers, for our elders. I think that needs to be maintained though. Because sometimes when you know a lot of things, your mind becomes, oh, I know this, I don't need to ask him, I think I'm better than them, or I don't, that thought, that's something I would never want to have with myself, or I wouldn't want to see in anybody in the school even, or people around me. I don't want, even in our religion, it's like, never think of yourself as better than another person. So that's one thing that I miss, that
for me it also like disconnects you, and it can actually harm the teamwork. No, maybe a little bit. It's better to, okay, I will still go and ask ChatGPT, but can you be with me and discuss the thing? But actually, I have interviewed 10-year-old girl, Rehan school student, and she told me this experience also, that her mom always tell her, go and ask ChatGPT, and she felt also heard in the beginning. And when she asked the mom, she told her, I will not be always here, so learn to find the answers. And
but you are here right now. Spend some time with each other. You are here now. You're not dead. So that's something which, the connection, you gave a right word, with the social connection we have with one another. I don't think we should let that go, because then you'll be isolated. You don't have nowhere to go to. You won't have any connection, a special connection with the other person. So
we should maintain this, right?
Exactly. like we go to our grandparents for something, and they're so happy when you ask them something. They feel like, oh, I'm given importance. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that feeling is like amazing, because even my grandparents, say that, especially my mother's side, my nani. So whenever I ask her something, I know the answer always. But the way she's
Exactly.
explaining things to me and so enthusiastic about things, and it just
Mhm.
makes my heart so happy that she's, because at that point in life, you're done with everything. You're done with kids, your kids are married, you have grandkids. If you've done everything and just waiting now, for the
Mhm.
next thing in life.
And
So
older people were always those who were sharing the knowledge, the wisdom, right, in the family.
even exactly, even if you go to old age homes and stuff, I volunteered in a few when I was younger, and we knew that whenever we asked them something and we asked them, and they'd be so their eyes just, the shine, and the way their enthusiasm sparked, talking about their early life, their childhood, or their you know
Mhm.
it's just amazing. The feeling is amazing. To make
Mhm.
another person happy is like, it's so nice.
Yeah, that's sad about digital world, right? The kind of disconnection in
Yeah,
communities.
but also it does a very good it does its work in connecting people as well. I mean, I'm so happy for it that I can video call my friends and family.
Mhm.
It's so easier for me now. I mean, if I'd be cooking, I just call my mom, I'd put her on the counter, and I'd be cooking, and she'll be cooking, and we'll be doing our own stuff. But then the feeling of the loneliness, which sometimes we feel, like especially right now, it's Ramadan has started, we're fasting. So what we have iftar. So iftar is when we break our fast, we do it together. Back home, we used to be like 20 people breaking our fast together, and we'll all sit at the big dining table. So my
Mhm.
grandmother had a dining table specially made for 20 people, because we were so many people and we could barely fit. Now we're all married, some of us are married, though we can barely fit on it sometimes, but still that feeling is amazing. And coming from that to two people is like, so the phone, it keeps me, like we're talking right now, it's like you're just talking, you're sitting in front of me, we're having coffee or something, and we're talking. So it's nice to talk to you. So it's also doing its job in connecting people, but it's also doing the opposite. It's weird.
It's weird, right? And one would expect that when we can connect to anyone globally now, that we
Mm.
would be more peaceful, and it's not the
Mm.
case. So I wonder what's wrong.
I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. People say that now the human mind is not supposed to know so many things. We're not supposed to know so many things, because now in today's world, we know everything, and everything happening in every part of the world, that it's too much information for us. And
Mhm.
our brain melts down after
Down.
after a certain amount of information is in your mind. And then you people have a lot of people get depressed. A lot of people using depressed. I'm
And
depressed.
maybe they shuts down the rational part because they are tired to evaluate the
We're so
information.
tired of
So
comparing
they
ourselves to the rest of the world that we literally are. I think now I understand the meaning of existential crisis and depression, and
Mhm.
I don't feel like doing anything, and happens with it's human psyche, but it's happening more now because we have so many. So we're comparing ourselves with so many people now that we don't know how to keep up. We're still
Mhm.
learning.
Yes. Momina, where do you see yourself in 20 years or 10 or less? 5? What time frame should I use when to
I
talk
don't know.
about?
I've never been good at answering that question. My father has been asking me that since the past 15 years, and I haven't been able to answer that question. Um, like a typical, I don't know, an ordinary girl, my mind would say, I have kids, I have a nice family, I'm, I have a husband coming home, I have kids with kids, and we're having a nice time together and everything. We're all together. That family is, I think, the priority in my head all the time.
And when we talk about success, that question, the answers is different for everyone.
I guess exactly, success is a different thing in everyone's mind, like good or bad. Like
Mm.
not everything is good for everybody, not everything is bad for everybody. It's the same as success. Um, there are a lot of things to assess when you talk about success, because if, like, I'm a Muslim, so in religious success is if I'm praying 5 times a day, if I have a good connection with God, I'll be satisfied. But then if I come to the world, I'm like, oh, people are doing this, people are doing that. That's when my mind is like, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing this, I'm not
Mhm.
doing that, but I'm happy the way I am. I don't know. It's like, again, comparisons start, and your mind doesn't know where to stop.
Mhm, mhm.
I would have loved to see myself. I have a lot of possibilities how I could have mended my life towards, but I don't know. This is one of them, I think.
It's like every day success may be different definition, even
Maybe.
for us, and depends on which community you live in and what
Different
standards
part
are
of the
there.
world. You can't generalize it, exactly.
Mhm,
Some
mhm.
people think success is owning a house, owning a car, having a family, living happily together. Some people think maybe being,
And it's a
30
topic
and they're
like forever. It's like forever topic. We see it in the films, even like 50, 100 years ago. It's also it's like, still with us. We are
One
still
thing
like
I've started noticing in films and and on media is that people say it was my dream to do this. Now I've finally done it, and I'm like thinking like, what's next? If your dream has come true, what's next in life? What do you want to do now? Your dream is fulfilled. I mean, it's so weird because now my mind is literally critically analyzing all the things which are happening in shows and movies and stuff. I'm like, okay, that was your dream. What do you want to do now? You're just 20 and you saying that your dream has come true. What do you want to do with the rest of the 40 years of
different.
life?
Rehan school students have these quite difficult goals to achieve, right?
They
Like
do, they do.
poverty. Yeah, so they can work little
Because
steps.
that is something which can be achieved in a while. Maybe some can achieve them earlier in life, maybe some can achieve them later. But I think goals and dreams and success patterns keep changing in life. Like, you can't just make it constant. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
for me, it would be, if for somebody, it would be like having uh, this amount of money in their bank accounts. Okay, then what? Okay, for somebody it might be owning a house. Okay, you own a house, now what? I mean, these are small goals, I think, not something.
Important. They are not important because
Hmm.
even though when
The
you
ultimate success is to go to heaven. That's one thing.
Mm, I think
That's one thing
the
when you
goal is actually to enjoy everyday life
enjoy
and
every day.
right, find something every day
Celebrate
to be happy.
small successes, celebrate small things happening. Oh, I made great food today. That's a success
Mm,
for me, for today's success. Anything and everything like that. But even me myself, we can't let ourselves down every time we see a person doing something else in life. The my I was 7 when a teacher said that I never want to hear the word kash. So kash means I wish, or I wish that would have happened. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. And my teacher said, never say that word in life. I want you guys to live in a way that you never have to say that in life. And it stayed with me. I do
mm,
it sometimes, but I then unlearn it. I tell my brain, no, you don't have to say that. Whatever it is, thank God. Thank God you have a good life, a good husband, a good family. You have good friends, good people around you. Everything is nice. No need to, whatever it is, it's all God's plan. And maybe he has something else in store for you as well. But then never say that.
mm.
So yeah.
Thank you, Mina. Would you like to add something? But we talked about like for an hour already.
I think we already talked about a lot of life things, so I don't think there's anything else
Mm.
to
Thank
add
you very
to
much.
anything. Thank you
Thank
so much for having me. I had a very nice time talking to you.
Me too. Thank you, and I hope we will meet soon because we already didn't
We're
meet for
neighbors.
some
Yeah.
time.
Why don't you come visit me? Because you can right now. I can't.
Um, oh yes, I can, right? Let's see.
Let's see. Okay. All
Thank you
right.
very much,
Thank you
Momina,
so
and
much.
yeah,
Speak to you
mm,
soon.
Have a great day.
You too.